So if we recap yesterday's session, yesterday we have seen DBCS, one of the integration approach for AR invoices, how to create the AR invoices stage 1 and stage 2. And we have seen a couple of table structures for entry table and staging table. And now we'll try to create the same code pack in our database system, okay, the DBCS. So this is my DBCS. Just try to connect the DBCS. Open code pack. The system is slow, yeah. Just you can bear with me. What's happening?
Your voice is not clear.
You're not able to hear everyone?
Yeah, your voice is very low.
Very
And-
low.
Yeah, and breaking also.
System issues. Yes. Okay, now it's clear.
Yeah, better.
Thank you. This is my table. First, we'll try to create a database sequence. My database sequence, just try to create the same. Not directly connecting here. Sequence is successfully created. Now this file entry table. File entry table created. Now this is staging table.
अभी 9 बजे बनाएंगे, ठीक है? 9 बजे बनाएंगे.
Let's meet yourself. Table create a staging table. Now this is done. Also done. Line staging table. This is created. Now this distribution staging table. These two are interface tables, same as your standard tables, standard interface tables. Now I will create error. So this error table contain your complete error information. So that by using this table, you can write your error data into one of the file. So this is my error table. Now this is my file ID done, error table is done, distribution table is done. Now this is my package. Yes, package. Just try to create the PL/SQL package. Package compiled, and this is package body. Body also successfully compiled. Okay. Everything is done. All the database objects.
What do we have in that package?
That is, we'll see whenever package comes.
Okay.
There are two staging tables I have. One is file entry table and one is my staging table. Just try to it will become empty and staging table. Okay, let's create the integration with this TPCS.
I can't hear you.
Now we need a FTP connection as well, right? We need to place that file, sample file.
Vijay, I think you are not even audible.
Sorry,
I cannot hear you.
I am not speaking yet. Just trying to go to open these files. I don't know. My system suddenly, very slow. It's not responding. So we will try to place one file. And this is my file. Yeah, this is my file. Let's go. So I have 7805. This file is there. Okay. It's not a correct file.
Warm-up exercises.
Yeah, this is a correct file. Just try to copy this positive file and we'll try to create a negative file as well. So here, so here we'll try to remove a couple of aspects. G is entry number and currency to somewhere item level. We'll try to remove item number and something bill to site number. And there is currency code available. Try to remove some validations purpose. One is the positive file, one is the negative file. All right. Positive file. Okay. Now we'll try to design the integration. So what we'll do in order to get the files? Anyone? I want to get these two files.
List file.
Yes, great. Yeah. Building extension to so very first time I had a tracking here. Just drag and drop start time. Just click on save. Now change layout from vertical to horizontal. Now add the FTP to add list to files operation. This is our FTP one. This one only, this one, right? List files and list the files. Input directory, something test. This is my input directory and file star.txt. Just click on the next and then okay. Now this is not required input request mapper. Already we mapped here in the connection itself file name and pattern. Now it will create two XML nodes for us, which is in repeating element. In order to get those files, we need to add a for each. And this is list to files response and file list, load more, and this is my repeating element. Just click on the create. So I need to download the file now. Just use the same FTP connection in order to download the file. Here, download the file. Click on the next and select the operation, which is download file, and input directory file name you can keep blank, and this is /temp/download something. Just click on the next. And this is my request mapper. Here you need to get each file and directory. Just you can map the same here as a download file request mapper. This is source side for each. This is directory, and this is file name. Just validate it and close the same. So every time try to save the work immediately. Not sure when this application get in hang status. If it is in hang status, obviously will lose all your work. Again, you need to reiterate. So download the file successfully completed. Now I'm trying to generate the file ID. First, we'll try to make in a file entry. Whenever file successfully downloaded, we'll try to insert a record into my file entry table. This is my file name, and the very first term status is new. Bash status is new, and the file status is new, and followed by the file ID. So before that, we'll create a variable section here to get the flow ID. Something variable initialization. Just click on the create. Variable flow ID. Here you need to select the function which is get flow ID. So what it will do, get flow ID, it will return across a unique value to your integration at runtime. then you will return a unique value. It will be same across the integration. Now this is done. Now it's time to generate your file ID. So for that, yesterday we created one of the database connection, right? DBCS. We'll use the same here. Something GP11 ATP database we have created. Just will try to use the same. This is my database. Here, when you select a database adapter, this is my database adapter connection, right? So the database adapter can support for you invoke a stored procedure, run a SQL statement, perform an operation on a table. You can perform these three operations by using your database adapter. Okay, you may invoke your PL SQL procedures and run the SQL statements here itself, and you can perform operations. So select, as of now, we are trying to insert, update, merge, and select. Whichever you want, you can use. So I'm trying to use the insert option. Just click on the next. So on which table you are trying to insert, now you need to select the table here. So schema is admin by default. Search with XXC. This is my file entry table. Selected list. Just click on import tables. So always it's better to maintain primary keys and foreign keys relationships in your tables. Otherwise, it will ask here itself what is your primary key column for your table. So already we have created file ID is our primary key in our file entry table. Just click on the next. So it will create a request mapper with our database columns. Same as our table columns, it will create a request mapper. Just need to map whichever you want. So this is my file entry request mapper. Just try to edit the same. Sorry, we need the file ID, right? Before that, we need to get a file ID. So we need to write an SQL statement, which is select our sequence dot next val from DL. So use that SQL statement and try to generate the sequence ID here before making a file entry. Here get DB sequence ID, run a SQL statement. Just click on the next. You can write the SQL statement here. So what is our next val? You need to add sequence name here. So my sequence ID, this is file ID. Now you can use the same. Just validate SQL query. So this status is success. There is no issue with your SQL query. Here terminator is not required. Do remember. Just click on the next and the done. So as of now, we do not have any, it's not required any inputs for this request mapper. This is not useful, just try to delete. You may get warning, no problem. So now, once it is successfully executed, the response will get as a sequence ID, right? Now we can make as a file entry here. This is insert operation for your file entry table. So this is repeating element. So you may map node to node in order to insert, bulk records. So here load flow ID. Load flow ID is nothing but our variable get flow ID, and the file ID. File ID is nothing but this is get. So always in order to we require this file ID in future purpose. So we'll try to store this file ID in one of the variable instead of everything open like this. Here create a file ID. To hardcode with empty. Now here you can add the same variable, assign file ID. Use the same variable here in order to get store your file ID response. This is file ID, and if your response is nothing but your get flow ID. Get DB output. This is next file is nothing but our sequence. Now we can use this variable wherever you need across the flow. Now this is my file entry. I need file ID. This is file ID. The file name, when you download the file, you will get a file name, download response. This is your file name. Very first file status is success. Just hardcode, sorry, new. The pass status also new, very first time. Instead of create target, I click on make root here, something this is. Save the work, no. Now try to unlock it. So this is file entry, just write edit. Yeah, please. Lady. And this is download file. Someone is raised hand, iPhone. Any questions? This is file name. Status. And this is batch status. And here you need current creation date. You may get it from your current date. So this is current date. Just you can drag and drop here. This is current date. Error message is not required. Very first step. Validate it and close the save. So now what would happen here? Once it is executed, you will get two files, and for each nothing but you will get two iterations. In the file entry, you will get two records. In your file entry table, in that custom table, you can see two records. Okay, let's test it. Just try to activate it. Enable tracing, include payload, and activate. Just submit the integration. Just click on the hyperlink. It will navigate to monitoring tracking screen. Always test step by step. Do not go for entire flow where initial state itself. Just try to test, flow wise, so that if any issues are there, easily you can, debug. This is succeeded. Now you can verify file entry table. So here I have two records. This is load flow ID would be same. If you see here, load flow ID across the integration, nothing but across the session. Across the session, you will get the same load flow ID. And this is file ID 1 and my file name. The file state is new, as status is new, and this is creation date. And again, this is file name 2, and this is my file name, which is negative file, and the rest of would be same. Okay. Now we have used insert operation for this. Now we will try to insert the data into this ER staging table with help of one of the XSD schema file. So in order to print the file, in order to insert the data into staging table, first we need to read the data, right? Okay. So how will you read the data? By using one of the XSD schema files, since it is pipe separated data. And we have some specific condition specific data available, right? HCMN, HARAMP, and DARAMP. For that, you need to use XSD schema file. We'll see how this looks like. XSD. So this is an XSD file. This is common. You will get, even though when you upload the CSV file, when you click on the format definition, when you click on the next in the format definition, you can see the same definition. So here I have an XSD element which is root element. Root element I have common, header, and details elements are available. These are child elements. So here in the root element, I'm trying to define one choice condition, which is terminated choice condition. So what is the choice condition? Is nothing but one of the child element is common. The condition value is HCMN. If it is HCMN for HCMN, nothing but whenever the first line is available within HCMN terminated by pipe separated. Now I'm trying to extract the data. This is my configuration key, creation date, and source. And the data is available, which is terminated by pipe. And end of the column. This is my last column. For that last column, I'm giving an instructions to the XSD. This is end of line. The way this line is ended. Okay, this is configuration key, creation date, and source. Okay, the same way header. The condition value is HARIMP. If the starting value is starting with HARIMP, now I'm trying to extract the data which is pipe separated. This is entry number, billing ID, general pricing status, customer group number, and so on. So at the last placeholder 3, I am trying to say end of line. So if you have So if you have 10 lines of HARIMP, so obviously it will iterate 10 times. Since we are enabled here, max occurs is unbounded. Max occurs unbounded is nothing but it will enable for loop for us, repeating element for this common, for this header and the detail. It will enable repeating element. You can verify the same, just upload for your earlier integrations. You are uploaded CSV schema file, right? When you click on the next, there you can find the hyperlink, which is format definition. Just verify that XSD script once from CSV to XSD, so that you can verify how XSD is converting from CSV. There it will enable by default unbound. It is nothing but which is enable repeating element for these elements. Okay, and now this is details, the same DARIMP condition value, and followed by detail columns, followed by pipe separated, and placeholder 3 end of line. So it will try to looking for next line. Okay, this is my XSD file. Okay, so it's not possible to use CSV schema file since it is not a straight away. Okay, now use this XSD file in order to read the data.
Vijay, so if it is not CSV pipe delimited, so we need to create it manually?
Yeah, manually create this manually. The reason on this, you need to maintain a backup CSV file with headers.
Mhm.
And to take a Google help, XML to XSD, first you need to convert this data into XML, your file data. And in the Google, you can find XML to XSD converters would be available. 90% it will provide XSD schema file. Remaining 10% you need to change your enhancement. Mostly this can do by SOVA team, but this is part of technical right now for us. So it's our job in order to prepare XSD schema file.
Okay, but for CSV, like it gets automatically created, right?
It's automatically created. Whenever you upload the CSV file, when you click on the next, it will generate. There is a link. Did you observe? Format.
Yeah.
When you click on that format definition, it will generate one of the file over there, one of the screen. Just copy the data, save with .xst.
Okay.
Schema file. And observe for 2-3 CSV file, how it is generating XSD. So that it is easy to generate for your new XSDs, if any requirements will come.
Okay. So Vijay, one question, like in this pipe delimited, only the delimiter is different, right? It is not CSV. It is, so we'll have to just change this.
We are condition based. We need to read the data, right? If it is,
Okay.
I need this data. If it is H,
Yes.
I need this data. So this type of condition we cannot put on our CSV.
Yeah, got you, Vijay.
So this is file entry. Now it's
And this template is centric. We just need to change the columns according to ours, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's time to read the data. So how will you read the data? Page file.
Vijay, this sequence, why it is showing a warning symbol? Any specific reason?
We have removed request mapper, right?
Okay.
It's not required for a request mapper since we do not have any mapper for that. If you remove any request mapper, it will show as a warning. This is read entire file. Specify the file name. So what is your file name? You will get from download file response. So this is my file name. Just copy everything and try to change the directory. Just click on the next. Instead of CSV here, you can select XSD. For BAP reports, we have selected XML document. For if you use XSD or CSV, whichever you want, you can keep it straight away. There is no condition specific. Simply you can go for CSV. If any condition specific, if you want to read the data, then you can. It's our job to prepare XSD document and select your XSD file. This is the root element. This root element has three childs: common, header, and detail. When you see the format definition here, when you upload the CSV file, here you can find your XSD schema file. The same header, it will generate everything. Just you can observe for at least 2 to 3 CSV files, so that it's something you will get familiarity how to prepare the XSD files. So this is read data. Now it's time to print, data in your custom tables, right? Staging table from this read data. So for that, it's not selecting. Insert file data. Insert file data. Use an operation on a table and use a next. Insert. Just click on the next. And this is admin schema. Search our table. This is our staging table. So in this table, we are trying to insert the data. If you have the primary key, no issues. If you do not have any primary key, it will prompt here itself, enable the primary key column. So might be we do not have any primary key column for this R staging table. So we will get a prompt here, we'll see. So here asking the primary key. So I'm trying to enable file record sequence is one of the primary key. Just click on OK. So here I'm trying to map a unique value for each record. Just click on the next. And then done. Now open the request mapper and you can map from read data response to your insert file entry file data request mapper. This is staging table and this is my read data response. The root element. So I have three childs followed by choice terminate common header and details. For each element, it's enabled with the repeating node. Now you can map the data. So as we discussed, header data will go plus headers plus common data, HARMP plus HCMN. Now you can map the same here, master record ID. So master record ID, I'm trying to hard code. Now I'm trying to map header data plus header CMN. H_AR_IMP. Just I'm hard coding header data. This is, I have file ID. This is my file ID and this is my flow ID. And for file record sequence, there is a position function is available. It will generate, a sequence number for us. Just to get a unique value for each iteration, for each record. Always it will start with 1. For example, if you close the integration again, if you start with the integration again, it will start with 1. The way you will get 1, 2, 3, 4 files. And configuration key. Configuration key we have in common record. This configuration key, creation date and source. These are from common record. This is configuration key. This is creation date. And this is source. Now this is HCMN mappings. This is done. Now we can map header mappings. Header mapping. This is header entry number, H entry number. This is billing ID. Pricing status. Customer group number. Customer group name. Customer account. Currency code. Invoice date. Something we can get new other columns, not all the columns. Something entity code. Payment terms. These are enough just to see the data. Okay, just to validate. Now, as of now, we are map header level and your common record. Just we'll try to test it. Then after we'll try to add detail, the same table we have, line entry number. Just up to this, we can test the rest of we'll see tomorrow. Now this is active. Just try to run the integration. This is my file entry table. Now I have 3 and 4. Okay. Now try to verify data for 3 and 4. I have header record 3 and 4. So I have only one record for my header. Do we have one record or two records? So as of now, we mapped, if you see an observation here. For header, in my file, I have 2 lines for header. You see here, H entry number. It's repeating twice here itself. So can anyone find the issue? What is the root cause for this? Header data is repeating in the same line itself, in the same column itself. You see here, 009 payment of 39. Anyone can given any approach why it is behaving like this?
We have not mapped the nodes.
Yeah, we need to map node to node so that for each can be enabled. Now you can see, 2 columns for each file, 2 rows for each file. Okay. Okay. We'll see tomorrow the rest of. So for today,